Yo! So I was gonna talk about something interesting, alright? And obviously, I'm gonna name this video Music Theory Applied to Life. But, sorry. The other day I was talking to my dad, right? We were sitting there listening to music. And he's talking about who's the best guitarist. And I was like, alright. I don't know. I don't know that there is a best guitarist, you know? I was just thinking in my head. Like, some people are really fucking good, don't get me wrong. I'm not very good. And the reason why I show this stuff on my video is because you can't get better on my channel. You can't get better if you're not where you're at. And I'm trying to show people, like, this is where I'm at. I'm trying to be transparent with, like, what I'm doing because I'm trying to get better and I'm trying to apply some of these concepts I want to describe real quick. And so I'm like, really for me, have you ever heard the freaking term, the saying, like, jack of all trades is a master of none? But everybody always forgets the other half. They always leave out the other half of that quote, which says, but the jack of all trades is often better than the master of one. And so we can get really, really good at something, like in the physical body with our muscle memory and stuff. We can get really good at stuff, and it takes a lot of time and practice. But there's a lot of people out there who haven't dedicated the time and practice to getting really good at guitar. So it's not, a battle of who's going to practice more. I mean, that's usually what competition is, right? Is who practices more and gets better, and then they do the best in the competition, right? I mean, that'd be if it was a competition. I don't think that being a guitarist is a competition. I think that being a guitarist is just something that you do. You either get good at it or you don't. Just like skateboarding. And this also explains why I'm posting skateboarding videos on my channel, is because I'm trying to show that I'm getting better from where I'm at, and that I want to see my own progression, and I also want others to see the progression that I've made, whether it comes to guitars or philosophy or skateboarding. It doesn't matter, because everything is correlated. And I use Hermetic thinking in the way that I see the world all the time. And the way I do that is, well, the first two principles of, Hermeticism is, the first one is everything is mental, and the second one is everything corresponds. So, the way I learn something in my mind, and apply it to my mind, is also how I apply it to the world or things that I'm doing. So, when I'm talking about how I play guitar, I'm trying to use the things that spiritual insights and downloads, or whatever you want to call them, concepts, things that I've thought about, things that I've realized, realizations that I've had, understandings that I'm trying to integrate. And so, I want to try to take those lessons and apply them to whatever it is that I'm learning and whatever it is that I want to get better at. And so when I post videos of me playing guitar, fucking around, it's because I want you to see that there's real progression being had there. I'm not just some guy on YouTube telling you all of this bullshit to try to get you to fucking, watch my shit. I don't care. I want to actually provide value to you and something that you can use in your life. Not just like, I thought of this cool thing and it was cool and I watched this video and I did nothing about it. And then I went and watched another one. No thanks, dude. What I'm trying to do is different. I'm trying to show you the things that I have actually applied. Maybe I haven't gotten good at explaining every single thing that I've applied, but we'll just go back to the conversation we had about the best guitarist. So, the best way that I can explain that is through examples. Me using myself as an example of what I've tried to implement, and then what I learned from implementing that thing. I know what worked and what didn't work, what I figured out and what I realized. And I should share those things with you and not hide all of my own faults that, might come up. I don't want to do that. I want you to be real, and I want you to know that I'm real, and I'm not just hiding behind a screen saying I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not doing any of it. I realize that there is like a separation between my personal life and like, you know, stuff that I should share online, stuff that I shouldn't. But I just want everybody to know what I'm talking about. So when music theory is applied to life, how does that work? Well, I was talking about how, you know, it's one thing to be a really good guitarist. It's another thing to be a really good creator, a really good artist. And so when I think of music and my appreciation of music, it's the whole picture, not just the guitar solo, not just the drums, not just whatever. It's how everything works together in context with each other. A certain part might sound better by itself, like the guitar solo. Everybody really loves that part of a song because it sounds good, right? And it's impressive that somebody can do that. But what's more impressive to me is the composition of the music and the tools that are used in context with how it all makes a big story. Like, there is a story, a journey that happens. It's beautiful because of the context of what happened before and what came after, you know? And that to me is beautiful and more impressive. And also, I wanted to say this other thing, that really, just because I haven't like gotten good at guitar doesn't mean I don't have the artistic vision. I just don't have the finger strength and muscle memory to put what's in my brain onto the guitar. It's an instrument. It's called an instrument for a reason. It is a tool. You're using it to like a pen, you know, to write what's in your mind. So when I think about that, I'm like, I can hear stuff all day long that I want to put on this guitar, but my hands don't know how to do that shit. And so then I have to freaking work on how to get my hands to do that shit so that I can do it. But I can't right now, and it takes time. And that's the most frustrating thing about it. And here's the key part of that though, is that, you know, that guy might be a really good guitarist, but he doesn't have the vision and the composition and the knowledge and the patience to see a greater vision with the story. He could do something entirely different with that tool. He just hasn't mastered that ability to do that. And that's why I always learned on computers, because I was lazy. I like doing stuff on computers because it's easier and it's faster, but it doesn't hit as hard and it's not as authentic to me or just in my own expression of it, right? But I hope this all makes sense. I'm just trying to say, like, I'm trying to get better at guitar because I neglected myself. I neglected myself for 10 fucking years, and I never tried to get good at guitar. I said, oh, I just kind of know, and that's good enough. I don't have time for that because I have to do real life stuff. Stuff that matters, right? You know, like working for other people and fucking slaving away for 12 hours for, I don't know, however much money you want to get. No, dude, I've been doing that. So I've neglected myself for 10 fucking years instead of actually fucking doing what I wanted to do, which was sit around, play guitar, and fucking make trippy music and fucking have a good time. But because I never fucking did that, and also I just wanted to talk about trippy stuff and philosophical nonsense, and ramble on all day long like I am now. But this wasn't exactly how the conversation went. I'm just trying to boil this essence down and give it to you, because I can share this with my dad, but I'd rather share it with the world where somebody else can understand what I'm trying to say. It doesn't really make sense right now, but I'm trying to get better at it. All right? That's it. I'm trying to get better at like doing this. And so when I think of music theory applied, it's like, well, actually what happened was, like, I came to the conclusion that sometimes you don't have that vision. Some people don't have the same vision for the music and stuff that they want to create, or the ability to see things clearly that other people can't. And I noticed that happened to me. I have this vision and ability to see something beautiful, something grand, a great concoction, a great masterpiece. You know what I mean? But I haven't worked on myself enough to get that out. And whether it's through the guitar or skateboarding or fucking philosophy and talking, it's going to take a lot of work to actually work with the words that I want to say and work with my fingers to get them to move the way I want them to move, because I've been neglecting it this whole time. But also, the vision of what I can see and what can be created in my mind through music theory could also be applied to how I create my life. I may not be good at speaking or going out in public or having relationships. I might be kind of antisocial, but I might be really good at some other things. But that's because I neglected I didn't work on myself enough to be socially accepted. I didn't care about that. And because, I didn't, now I have to make up time for that. Now I have to make up time for where I didn't spend time what I wanted to spend time on, like guitar or talking or speaking online. And so that's what I'm doing now, is I'm trying to tell everybody that this is what is happening to me. I just can't help it. I need to get better at these things because there's a huge grand vision that I would like to share with the world. And I have to use tools and instruments to do so. And sometimes when you pick up a new instrument, you don't know how to work that shit, and you got to figure out how to use it. And you got to get good with that tool. And you got to use a lot of different tools in conjunction with each other so that you can make a wonderful masterpiece, not just a popular song. And so the difference in between a popular song and a fucking masterpiece is huge. And the other part that I wanted to say about music theory and this whole thing is that, like, most people can't follow the timing of these complex classical compositions because their brain is too focused on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they can't tie the 8 to the 16 and to the 16 to the fucking 24. If you understand what I'm saying, they're too busy focused on basic and simple things. And so the mind and how far you can go with yourself is how far you can go with a piece of information. Whether it's translated through music or me talking, you might only pick up on half of the shit because you haven't actually discovered that within yourself. And so that's what I'm saying. It's because it's just a hermetic way of thinking. Like, everything is mental and everything corresponds. So therefore, all of this should make sense, if you know what I'm saying. But I can't get you to see that. I can only point you in the right direction. And that's what I'm trying to do with my whole channel as a whole, is leading by example and doing things, and then showing you what I learned from doing those things and trying to implement those things. And so I hope this makes sense. It's like strange, but this is me. My name's Achilles, and I like to do shit like this. And if you want to learn from me and you want to figure out where this shit goes, because I don't know where this is fucking going, I'm just doing what I feel guided to do, which is speak and share my wisdom and get better at guitar and get better at my fucking life and get better at posting these damn videos. And I want you to come with me. I don't want you to fucking sit there and just be an observer and watch me do all the shit. I want you to do some of the things with me. And I don't know how that's going to be dynamically added into this channel, but we're going to do so. We're going to figure out a way. But currently, right now, nobody's listening. So first I got to get people listening, and then maybe we can figure something out. So anyways, if you want to come along and you really do enjoy that, and perhaps like this actually makes sense to somebody, you can please let me know, because it doesn't fucking make sense to me half the time. I'm trying to make sense of it all because I'm kind of crazy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. There is a lot more that I could say, but I'm just trying to keep it in a box. I don't know. I hate putting things in boxes, but if you understand, you understand. We'll talk more about music theory and how I'm applying it to my life as well as to just anything. But it all corresponds and it all crosses over. If you can see where it connects up and where the match is made, like micro scale, macro scale, there's plenty of other correlations that could be made towards the physical world and the frequency world, or however things are interpreted, you know? That didn't even fucking make sense. But you get what I'm saying. It's like, you'll find the coincidences and where they cross up, and you'll just know. Like, oh, this is another one of those things where it's like the same thing over here as it is over there, but it's like in a different form. And that's how everything corresponds. And that's what I'm trying to share. I'm just trying to share hermetic knowledge so that we can all kind of see the same world, and maybe we could create the same world, because you do have the power and we are the creators, and we're not just gonna fucking sit here and let everybody else create everything by happenstance and just be a part of it by happenstance. So we have to be intentionally trying to do things to get there, and that's what I'm trying to do. And so if you're on board with me and you're on the same page, please do let me know. Anyway, otherwise, I'm gonna go continue my wonderful day. Have fun.